I met a man the other day, you know his eyes are crazy, so far away. He sidled up to the bar, began to bend my ear. This is what he had to say. He said, living in this city don't get me down, 'cause you can always find some place you can hang around. The country's for the pumpkins, the potatoes, peas, and pumpkins. Don't give them acrobatics, just give me some hashish or narcotics. There's a time late at night when the jazz changes hue, it gets blue, gets blue, and the key is very definitely low. While the drunk takes his bow, as in the band they play Georgia one more time just for the blow. It's just a fool's paradise, it's just a fool's paradise. You can walk with the devil and you don't think twice. Everything's rosy, everything's just fine. This fool's paradise of mine is just a fool's paradise. A fool's paradise. Everything crazy, everything free. Still I pray to God in heaven to come look after me. Here I am caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. I don't care for acrobatics, just give me some hashish or narcotics. There's a time late at night when the jazz changes hue, it gets blue, gets blue. Isn't that key is very definitely low, low key low, while the drunk takes his bow. Yes, in the band they play Georgia one more time just for the blow, just for the blow.
first blues musician I really met, like who was in my universe, was Gypsy Dave. I'd kind of seen a couple of, you know, I remember seeing Mississippi John Hurt the telly and just getting it. He wasn't even playing the guitar, and it was just something to do with the way he was popping his eyes and moving his body. I just felt something. And then when I met Gypsy Dave, he was the first person I knew in my universe that was a really two things. He dedicated his whole life to the blues, and like a white Australian, you know. And also he was living like a minstrel. He was very interesting proposition to me, because at the time I was kind of cocooned by the business and felt quite trapped by it, because I was getting forced to try and have hit singles and things. I just started off in a little band with my mates, and suddenly there was a circus starting to develop, and I was looking for a way out, definitely looking for a way out, and Gypsy Dave was that skateboard.
Then I met a couple of lads called the Hokum Hotshots, Jim Murray and Pete Mason, who I'm sure you'll get around to interviewing at some stage. What lovely lads. Met them in Amsterdam. And they said, oh, we'll get you some gigs in the northeast. So I came over first, I think, in April '86. I came over here, did a few gigs, and I thought, oh, I like it round here. And so when I left in October '86, I moved from Amsterdam to Newcastle, because I'd been knocking around Europe on an Aussie passport, getting more and more tenuous as to my actual stature as an illegal immigrant. Whereas if I came to Britain, my father was British born, so I could get a British passport, and you know, I had no trouble with permission to work and reside here. So, whereas I had a couple of close shaves with both German and Dutch immigration that I'd managed to wheedle my way out of and not get packed on a plane home, which would have been disastrous. So I ended up in the northeast, because when I came to England, I think I had probably about 30 or 40 quid in my pocket. And you don't exactly go to London with no connections with 30 quid in my pocket. I was sort of smart enough not to do that. I was 31 or so by then. So northeast it was, and it was very kind to me.
You know, and I went under an apprenticeship with him. To the people who were trying to guide us to whatever they were trying to guide me to, he was a threat, because he represented poverty to them, but he represented wealth of spirit to me, because I clocked what he was all about, you know. And I was playing to 2,000 people a night in London, which meant nothing to us. And I was actually wanting to be like Gypsy, so he didn't have a career. I had one, so we sabotaged mine. And we did a good job. It took about 8 months.
Waiting for a Train. This one's called Jimmie Rodgers.
All around the water tank, waiting for a train. 1,000 miles away from my home, just sleeping in the rain. I walked up to this brakeman to give him a line of tow. And he said, if you got the money, boy, then I'll see that you don't woe. I told him I don't have one nickel, not a penny can I show. He said, get off, you railroad bum, and he slammed that boxcar door. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. That man, he put me off in Texas, that state I dearly love. Them white open spaces all around me, the moon and the stars up above, and nobody seems to want me. Let me help in hand, and I'm on my way down from Frisco, headed for Dixieland. Though my pocketbook it is empty, my heart is full of pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from my home, still waiting for a train. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. Texas, that state I dearly love. Them wild open spaces all around me, the moon and the stars up above, and nobody seems to want me. Let me help in hand, and I'm on my way down from Frisco, headed for Dixieland. Though my pocketbook it is empty, my heart is full of pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from my home, still waiting for a train. I'm 1,000 miles away from my home, just waiting for a train. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.
Like I said, initially it was Leadbelly, and also, like I said, I heard some Sun House recordings, so there was the slide. There was no one to teach me the slide, there was no books, there was nothing, but I sort of worked out that it was an open-tuned thing, and, you know, I think pretty much as happened just by accident historically, sort of fell on the open E tuning originally and descended upon that with a fervour, you know, and I still use a socket wrench for a slide, have done for donkey's years, and because that's what I first used when I was a child. You couldn't buy the things, and I knew I needed a metal bar, and I raided my old man's toolkit. And that was it was originally a 9/16 long shank socket, and for getting in between the rockers to head bolts and things like that. It was a 9/16 or 11/16, I can't remember, I think it might have been 11/16. So I've long used a chunk of chrome vanadium. I've been through periods of using brass and glass and things, but keep on coming back to the sockets, because you lose one, you go and get another one for a couple of quid.
I was playing at the Jumpin' and Hop Club with Big Joe Duskin, and Gypsy was booked as the support. And as soon as we got talking and started jamming together, we obviously had a lot of the similar musical influences and felt about the music the same way. And it was just a natural thing to get together. And we've been gigging ever since. How many years is that? I don't know, 15, 18?
I love the freedom of playing solo. You know, you don't have to think about a set list, you can do things off the top of your head, you can completely change the arrangement of a song at a whim. I enjoy that freedom. I love playing in company, you know, for the interchange and for the exchange of musical ideas and for the sheer fun of it. You know, I've had a lot of fun playing with others. I guess the ability to relax and lose yourself in it, to not force yourself on the music too much, to allow the music to be rather than, you know, imposing yourself upon the music. To me, it's almost a Zen thing. It's an act of not doing. It's not what you do, it's what you don't do.
Out at the station with a suitcase in my hand, and I found her at the station with a suitcase in my hand. And it's hard to tell, it's hard to tell. My love's in vain, all my love's in vain. When that train rolled in the station, I looked that woman in the eye. When that train rolled in the station, I looked that woman in the eye. Lonesome, I so lonesome, could not keep from crying. Oh, my love's in vain. That train left the station, had two lights on behind. When that train left the station, it had two lights on behind. Well, the blue light was my blue, red light was my mind, all my love's in vain. Oh, well, it may. Oh, well, it may. Yeah. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.